Making accessories with partial poses. So that is just a section of the avatar being posed with the accompanying accessory mesh is basically the same as setting up an accessory with a full custom pose with a few tweaks. So what we've got is a basic accessory mesh that we need to first position relative to where it's going to appear. So as this is an accessory plus pose item, we need to use the clothing tool for these. The attachment tool doesn't work because we need access to the full skeletal structure. So using the clothing tool, we make our mesh and then we just position it where it needs to be. So in this case, it's in the hand, and we want to try and get this positioned relative to the pose itself, because we can't pose, or we can't easily repose or reposition the mesh in the animation or pose file. So let's position this giant lollipop where it needs to be. Like so. Let's just turn that to local so that we are adjusting relative to the item itself rather than the global axes of Blender. So that's our object positioned. So all we've done so far is, obviously we've got a pre-made or pre-built mesh that's made in situ. We're just positioning it. So let's just save this so that we have a reference. Save increment. And then to finish the setup of the mesh itself, so what we need to do is, although we've got this positioned where it needs to be, we need to link it up to the skeleton so that the skeleton is able to control it. So that basically means creating an association between the mesh and the bone that we want to use. In this case, that's going to be RT hand. So for that, select our mesh. We want to be in Object Data Properties. And here we want to create a vertex group. Now, ordinarily, if this were a clothing item, we would use bind to armature, but we don't want to use that in this instance, because if we do, it's going to drop in a vertex group for all the bones of the avatar, 99.99% of which we do not need to use. So it's easier and better just to create the group manually. So click on the plus button. That adds a group, double click, rename RT hand. So this needs to be the name of the bone that's going to control it, and it is case sensitive. Next, object mode to edit mode. And here we've got a new set of buttons, and we want to assign this group to all the vertices of the mesh. So we need to make sure that everything is selected. So select all, and then just click on assign. And we can test this with deselect, select. Everything should select. That's okay. So drop back into object mode. And then the next step, modifiers. Add modifier, deform, armature. So what we've basically done is creating an association between the mesh and the bone. And then now we're creating a link between the object and the skeleton object. So we need to set the object, click on the browse to, and select clothing avatar armature. So click on that. And if we have done this correctly, if we select the skeleton, go into pose mode, select a bone, press the G key and wiggle it, the mesh moves with our articulation of the skeleton. So that means we've got that set up correctly. So drop out of pose mode, back into object mode. Let's save this. And then what we need to do, we need to export the mesh. So we need to double check in the outliner. Scroll down all the way down to the bottom. We need to check where our mesh is. It needs to be inside clothing export. So we can either click drag and drop that into clothing, or undo that. We can select the object, object, collection, move to collection. That'll bring the pop-up move to collection, mouse over clothing scene, and then clothing export. Just click on that and it will shift it into that group. So all this does is move the object into the export folder that the toolkit will use to export. So let's just save this. We need to save the file before we export, so just save over the top. And then click on export. So that's exported the skeleton and the mesh. We'll come back to this later. So we've now got one FBX file. So now that we've got that, select the mesh, copy it, copy objects, file, new, general, don't save, view, sidebar, toolkit, and we want the animation tool this time. Append animation file, there is the rig. All we need to do now is object, paste objects. That's dropped in the lollipop and the skeleton that was used to rig it. So we don't need that, so we can delete it. So select, delete. So that now leaves our mesh in midair. So we now have to connect that to the rig. So select it, modifiers, and it should have brought in the modifier panel from the setup previously using the clothing file. So all we need to do here is re-establish or relink object. In this case though, click on browse to, we have two options, anim and control armature. We always want anim. And that will force the mesh into position. So let's just save this file, save as. Because this is now going to be the basis of our partial pose. Now, ordinarily, if we were making a pose, a custom pose, we would select the armature, switch to pose mode, create a pose. This also just checks to make sure that we've got everything set up and it's working correctly. So normally we would just pose the avatar and then create our sequence in the action editor. And then depending on what we were doing, whether it was a static pose or an animation, so we'd have several frames. If it was an animation, we would then export. But for partial poses, we need to take advantage of the way that make pose works, in that it will give us, if we pose the avatar at frame 1, if make pose is active, during export, it'll duplicate the pose and then reset. So we have our original pose, which is then duplicated and then reset by the toolkit. And that gives it a sequence that produces a valid FBX file. We're essentially going to do that manually, because what we're then going to do is export the sequence as a normal animated pose. And we'll see how this all fits together when we get into the studio. But for now, all we're going to do is create a pose. So let's just enable auto key, so we don't have to keep manually inserting keyframe markers. And grab our controls and just create a pose. So we can use the widgets, or we can just use the shortcut keys. So only move and rotate, not scale. So the shortcut key is G, grab, or move. R to rotate. Let's move the shoulder. Let's switch our orientations to local. Elbow. Let's rotate that. And we can see here, this is why it's important to get this mesh or the accessory attachment mesh correctly positioned relative to the avatar in the clothing tool, because it can't be adjusted once it's in the animation tool. So that's going to be our pose. So we can see that because we had auto key enabled, whenever we move the bones, it dropped in a keyframe marker in the timeline at frame 1, which is where the timeline scrubber is by default. So let's just save this. Save increment. So as mentioned before, if this were to be a pose, we would enable make pose. We would activate that. But in doing that, it exports everything in the scene. So all the bones associated with the rig in their current positions. We want to avoid that because we want to export these specific bones. So that's the clavicle, shoulder control, the elbow, and then the hand. So we need to create the animated sequence structure, or the structure that will be created if we had make pose enabled. So we can move the timeline scrubber to frame 5, and we can do one of two things. We can either alt click frame 1, the column of markers, and then from the key menu duplicate that and then drop those at frame 5. So that creates a short sequence of exactly the same pose. Or alternatively, we could just select the bones themselves or keep them selected, move the scrubber, and then add key. And that drops in markers for those same bones. And then at frame 10, so we move the scrubber to frame 10, we need to select those bones again, or keep them selected, and we need to 0 these specific bones. So make sure they're highlighted, and that will reset just those specific bones. So now we've got a sequence of 10 frames, or 9 frames from frame 1 to frame 10. Half of it is a duplicate, the latter half is a reset. And this reset tells the export process that this is a sequence with something happening in it. So let's save this. So essentially what we have is an animated pose. So let's just rename this. Partial.pose. Enable the shield so that this data is kept in the file. Just resave over that. And then we can export this pose. Obviously, if we wanted more detail, bending the fingers, etc., we would do that. But it's the same principle. So once we've got that in place, all we need to do is export. So in the toolkit, just scroll down, click on export. So we leave these options as is. We don't enable make pose, don't enable export all bows, and we don't enable export clothing. If we have morph animations, so that's the facial animation, we don't necessarily need that, but it doesn't matter in this instance. So export. That will export the sequence, and then we can now assemble both FBX files in Studio. So in Studio, because this is an accessory with a pose, we need to use one of the clothing empties. So click on that. In this case, it's the female empty top. Derive. And then we can import the two FBX files. Import FBX. So the order doesn't really matter. So bring in the mesh, open. That's what it's found in the file, set up FBX. So because this is a clothing avatar product, we need to set a random mesh ID. We don't need to use the imported skeleton. Everything else is okay. So next, there are our textures. Next, we don't need the clothing tool animation. So deselect, preview. That's what it's going to bring in. And there is the lollipop in the avatar's hand. So that's the mesh. Import the pose. Partial, open. That's what it's found in the file. Set up FBX. Now we don't need the meshes. We don't need to override the meshes, and we don't need to use the imported skeleton. So we don't need any of these. Next, we don't need any materials. Next, this is what it's found. We do not need the morph because we didn't include one. All we want is the anim partial.pose. Review, that's what it's going to bring in. Import. So it's brought it in. So all we need to do now is go into component, action, set up an action, so create a new one. Now, depending on what we want to do here, let's just go with the default stance.standing. So this sequence will trigger whenever the avatar is standing. New ensemble. And we should find in the skeletal animation section our sequence. There it is. So let's set this up. Frame 1, frame 2, infinite. So infinite loop. Again, no morph. Apply. Preview. And there is our partial animated sequence. So if we let this play out for a short period, we should find the avatar is performing the default sequences that are associated with the avatar, but our custom partial pose stays in place. And that is how we create an accessory item with a partial custom pose that only affects part of the avatar. And then we can see the avatar defaults are playing through and it's not affecting our custom section.